Rick Tiger Dowdell was born on May 8, 1951. He grew up in the small college town of Lawrence, Kansas. In Lawrence in the 1960s, there was a lot of radical organizing that happened, first for civil rights, then for Black Power, against the war in Vietnam, and then Kansas University student activism took off from there in many different directions. Rick was a promising 19-year-old freedom fighter when he was shot and killed in an alley in downtown Lawrence by a white policeman, Officer William Garrett, on July 16, 1970. In July 2015, at the Lawrence Public Library, a small group of us organized an event to remember Tiger. After my welcome, Emeritus Professor Bill Tuttle came up and framed for us the historical context and some of the events of the 1960s and 1970s surrounding Rick's death. There was then a photo presentation of 50 never-before-shown photos of Rick's funeral on July 23, 1970, some of which you are seeing here. And then some of Rick's surviving family members got up in front of the room and began to talk with us, welcoming the crowd's responses.
Good evening. I'm Mike Harding Sr. I'm the uncle of this man's family, and would like to thank the organizers for this event. We agree we have come a long way. Internet, social media, dash cams, cell phones, and most important, a black president. A lot more work to be done. I'm not making excuses, but we grew up in some very confusing times. There was a war, Vietnam War. There was Muhammad Ali saying, "Don't go to war. We don't have our rights in our own country, why fight?" There was Dr. King saying nonviolence. There was the militants saying Black Power. Then Dr. King was assassinated, a black man. JFK, a white president, was assassinated. Make a long story short, but we were very confused. In our time, no swimming pool for blacks. I'm 67 years old and I still don't know how to swim. So, and you can hear the anger in my voice. We couldn't go to the movie theaters. Granada, we couldn't go. Varsity, we could go, but we had to sit in the balcony. And I'm so proud of our family today. We've taught our kids to love without anger or prejudice. In closing, to this day, there are unanswered questions about Tiger's death. Wish there were dash cams in that day. You know, I really do. But from seeing on TV, these dash cams are working and nothing's being done. Our black people are still being abused with the camera. And some of these policemen know they're being filmed. And they still are using excessive force on our black people. It has to stop. And then, in closing, thank you.
I'm going to get myself in trouble right quick. Okay? I've been doing it. Your whole family knows it. So, at the age of 15, okay, I knew what was going on. At the age of 61, why am I still asking the question, how can someone have been shot in the back and to this day it has not been investigated, it has not been put to rest, there has been no responsibility taken for what happened that day? I'm going to kind of answer one part of my own question standing right here. As long as there are those of us alive who still live here, who have a voice, who can use a phone, a pencil, or a piece of paper, maybe it's time, with what's going on in this country right now, for Lawrence to stand up again. Maybe it needs to start right here. For people here to come together, band together, write your paper, write your congressman, call somebody, and ask them to start asking questions so that we can affect some change. I'll let it go at that.
Hello, everybody. I'm a second generation Dowdell, and this is really cathartic for us and our family. Being a second generation, my dad didn't talk much about this when I was growing up. And I'm a Washburn, I'm a senior at Washburn right now, and for my capstone project, I'm doing the paper on Tiger with Mr. Dandridge there at Spencer Research Museum. It was started out as a semester project, but it's turned into a year project. And it's just so much information, so many indiscrepancies. I just wanted to tell my family story. Every story that's been told, every book that's been written, every paper that's been wrote is from this side of the story. They've never been interviewed on record as far as this situation. And when I went into this project, I knew it was going to be hard, but I didn't know how hard it was going to be. I didn't know how deep it was going to go. So I just think by this happening, by me researching some things, by everybody, and them being able to talk about it, I think it's cathartic to them. Because, you know, as a son and as a nephew of these guys, I see it every time we get together. Every time we get together as a family, there's something missing with these guys. There's a disconnect. These guys are not healed yet, and hopefully this is the first step of many to help them heal. And I just want to let you guys know, uncles, I love you guys very much, and we'll get through this, man. We'll get through this.
I want to thank the organizers of this event. We've been looking into this for some time now, and we couldn't get enough participation to get this done. And like my brother says, Tiger name will not be in vain. Like he says, yes, we was raised from a poor situation. We fought a lot with each other, lost our parents at an early age. We all depended on each other. There was 7 brothers and no sisters. We was 1 year apart. My mother was pretty busy, died of leukemia. I don't know how she had us all, with her being sick and all, but she did. And I'm grateful to her, and the Lord is looking out after her right now. Trayvon and Mike, when I seen that news, it really hit a sour note to say that we have gone this far, and Tiger has died, and we are still seeing this done in this nation. And you can imagine how I am feeling right now to see what's going on in our nation and what we here in Lawrence and the black community fought for all this time. And I want to thank every single person, the black community, the white community, for the support that they have given us throughout the whole tenure of meetings like this. And there is a couple of things that there's some stories, there's some books out about it. I mean, this is not going to die. And all 3 of us, all I can tell you is one thing. We're going to die with the secret. Because it was a bad time. And it was some bad things happening. And there were some bad people in this world. We were labeled as some of the bad people, but the vigilantes and the policemen, after they teamed up on us, we had no other choice. And that is the reason why this happened. It's because of us standing up, not having to go to a Jayhawk plunge and look through that fence and watch them swim, and not go to the golf course and can't even caddy to see them play golf. We ate downstairs at Pinckney School because it was segregated. Everybody else upstairs. One-room shack in Lincoln before the Brown versus the board, grade 1 through 6, blacks. And this is the reason, this is the origin of what happened in Lawrence, Kansas. We stood up and we fought, and there was a tragedy. But right now, we are really pleased and glad that everybody knows the real story about Rick the Tiger Dowdell. Thank you.